All right, you should be live.
Good afternoon and welcome to an afternoon of poetry. I am Carol Latham, the Community Outreach Coordinator for the MUZEO, Museum and Cultural Center in Anaheim. And it is our wish that you, your family, and your circle of concern are all safe, healthy, and that's not only just now, but that you stay that way. The MUZEO is a cultural hub with the mission to engage the community in exploring and celebrating our diverse heritage, culture, and the arts. And we do this through a myriad of creative educational programs like this, events and exhibits. And we certainly appreciate you taking your time on this Sunday afternoon to join us. Be sure, whatever questions you may have, to add them to the chat, and we'll do our very best to get them answered sometime during the presentation. I will also let you know that this program is being recorded on Facebook Live. This afternoon, our poets are exciting. We have Natalie Elaine. She's a Southern girl living in sunny California by way of Texas. She's devoted to making an impact through sharing her love for poetry, art, yoga, and meditation to the world. She's committed to living a life of truth and discovery with her writing. She encourages everyone to tap into their gifts and not be afraid to use them. She's currently working on a book of poetry and affirmations and plans to open a yoga studio by 2021. So that's just around the corner. And this yoga studio will incorporate a literary experience for all levels to enjoy. One of her favorite quotes is by Alice Walker. It says, "The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any." Joining Natalie Elaine will be Taqi Mustafaa, also known as S2 the Soothsayer, and he was born and raised in Dallas. He's an aspiring musician, lyricist, vocal performer, poet, and overall just a creative dude. Using the gifts that he's been given of word and sound, he strives to not only connect the world by connecting with peace and love for all beings on that basis. Jada Jones, always proclaiming the purpose of having any gift is to serve, is also from Dallas, Texas native. This 22-year-old recent quarantined college student received her BBA in business administration, has always had her hands in anything that has to do with the arts. Jada is often described as a passionate empath who enjoys helping others by promoting self-love using all 5 senses. Her favorite quote is, "When you become the diamond, you'll no longer wonder why life has to pressure you." Alejandro Perez Jr. is a Dallas native and a multidisciplinary art educator. He's a spoken word artist, diverse lounge MC, published poet, a married father of 6, a life coach, mentor. He's also a martial arts instructor with a contra mastery ranking in the discipline for over 22 years. We hope that Lady Breon will also have an opportunity to join us later. But for now, we're going to start with Natalie Elaine. Thank you all for joining us, and welcome to our guests who have tapped in. Natalie.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. And I guess I want to kind of get my thank yous out of the way now. I know we're going to make sure that we stay on time. We do have to fit this all in an hour. So I want to give all my thank yous to the MUZEO, Carol, to you for offering up this platform. I truly appreciate you, for Rakinda and all her hard work, for the Orange County Heritage Council, to Melanie, to Shedrick, my husband, all the creatives on the panel. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you guys helping me get this together. Alex, I'm indebted to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and you've been such a great help. I want to also give a shout out to Miss Lamb. Harlan, I hope you get to feeling better. Let's get started. So we're gonna start out, I'm gonna go first. I volunteered to go first. Taqi Mustafaa will be going second. Jada will be going third. And then Alex will go ahead and follow up. And then if Miss Lady Breon hops on, then she will be our last creative for tonight. So I got my Palo Santo burning in the background to draw in all of my ancestors and pull in that energy. I'd like to first give a disclaimer that I'm reading a piece that I wrote a few years back. Alex, I think you've already heard it, but I'm gonna pull from my truth. And I think that is where our creativity lies, in our truth. So I'll start. You guys ready? Here we go. I used to love me. 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 A glimpse of a smile illuminated the room, immediately captivated by what my eyes allowed me to see. At the time, I couldn't tell. He didn't even love himself, so he could never, ever really, truly love me. Oh, and initially he forgot to mention there was three. I used to love me. 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 Deliberately, vulnerably, openly, and on purpose. I loved him, pumping, pounding, blood, red vessels with my whole heart. I loved him giving away the very essence of myself. I used to love me. 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 My spirit, my energy, my source wanted to connect so desperately that I dreamed in midnight, seeing only the darkness, knowing it would never illuminate me. With every breath I took, with every beat of my heart, I loved him more than he could ever love me. I used to 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 love me. Accepted because I ignored. Tolerated because I needed him to love me. Continuing to dream in midnight, dark, cloudy, dirty, opaque, dull, murky, stagnant. I lost me. So ready to kiss the poison from his lips, while I left kisses on his fingertips so he could feel for me. I used to love 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 me. Fire was his embrace, not realizing I was being burned by the heat of betrayal and deceit. His promises had grown cold to the touch. He only spoke in cliches and predictability. Left me wondering, why did he seek me? I was the rhyme in an arrangement of verses. Ears always caught my beat. His eyes searched for me. I used to love 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 me. I gave him what he needed, consciously aware he was not emotionally equipped to reciprocate the type of love I was so eagerly giving away. I didn't need to try so hard, but my empathetic nature led me that way. I used to love me. 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 I stopped. One day, I just stopped. Stopped trying to fix what was broken. My aura was shining. My skin was glowing. My spirit was still alive by grace. He could never shame me. I am unashamed. I decided to choose again. I choose me. I love me. I love me. I love me. I love everything about me. I'm grateful I'm here present in this moment, in this space, and I still give my love away boldly, freely, and abundantly to all. But I will never give my energy to those three: his lies, his ego, and he. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Not sure what's the right thing, but that just felt right.
It's this, it's the finger snap. There you go. Oh.
I'll tell you, one of the guests, and he's probably going to be a little embarrassed if I point him out, but I want to acknowledge him. He's the inaugural poet laureate for the city of Anaheim, Grant Hire. So Grant, give it one of those. All right, Natalie, if you would introduce your next poet, please.
So next, drum roll, coming to the stage. S2. We're gonna turn it over to Taqi Mustafaa.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Natalie. Great to meet you. Y'all are just wonderful. How y'all doing, man?
Same here.
My name is Taqi Mustafaa, as Natalie said. I go by S2 the Soothsayer as well. Just like I said, an overall creative. Just love doing what I do, making people feel great, using my gifts, the talent of sound, voice, and words. And yeah, man, just ready to hopefully bless you guys with a couple of my sentiments, a couple of my emotions, and a couple of my thoughts. Also, side note, my birthday is actually Tuesday, so you guys, this is an awesome birthday gift for me. So to be able to release and express myself. Thank y'all. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the new norm. This is just a poem that was basically about my interpretation of what's going on, nowadays, things like that, how we're living and what I feel is going to be, going on. So let's get into it. What a time to be alive. Tears slide down faces so graceful, washing away the hope that's taken cathedral in our people's eyes. Youth trying to be mom's trooper, dad's right-hand guy, but even they have no clue what to do, and they're so wise, so help. I can't help but think, how could I? Darkness descends and tensions begin to rise. Supersonic sounds of sirens passing by, dogs wailing at the thought of pain, embracing one of their kind, so they howl at the moon, begging for them desperately to find peace. Mom and dad, meanwhile, can't get a wink of sleep. 12-hour shifts await them each, fighting a pandemic and their eyelids. But try this. Both susceptible to this virus out here being essential with underlying conditions, and not to mention age, Father Time so persistent, paying very close attention. And because the bills and expenses are growing with no intention of slowing, they're risking it to get this biscuit that's built all around a system not even meant for their well-being or benefit. Speaking of which, outside of the house, streets lined with passion, and it's well overdue if you ask me. It's far past asking for understanding anymore. Now there's acting, action. Passing on the passive, no more relaxing. You know what I mean? Protests in effect, bags with snacks, water in canteens. Masks cover mouths, we still chanting, I can't breathe. Hands up, and a sea of people drop to their knees for a very simple concept, or so it should be, equality. Not to kneel on another, but to heal one another, reciprocity. To feel one another, take heed to all the problems and struggles. No, better yet, break free and acknowledge this subtle attempt to continue to dismantle and disrupt, denounce and deconstruct this uprising, this movement, hoping that its success doesn't simplify your superiority complex. But I digress. The time is now. The time is near, and the time is here. Every voice is lifted, pink to brown, singing freedom sounds. Murals of the message, crafted masterfully, no doubt, from California to Kansas City to right outside the White House. Change has come, rolling in, and a new norm is in order. No, not one in light of the current circumstances, but one in regards to unity, peace, love, and understanding. For far too long has this country been damaged, dancing around the truth, constantly removing bandages, exposing open wounds, and enough is enough. It's time to rebuild, time to heal. And so without further ado, let's begin. Yes, that is one of my, thank y'all. Hopefully I have one more for y'all before I turn it on over. So yeah, let me go ahead and keep moving. That was just, like I said, a little sentiment of what I'm feeling today. This next one is a bit of imagery for you guys. Just a little bit about love and thinking about that right one, that right thing. And you know, when you're missing it, how you feel. So go ahead and get into this next one. Gazing into the green of my tea with lemon and ginseng this evening, meanwhile, reflecting on means to feel, thinking deeply, I realized suddenly something's very clearly missing here. Took a break from the inner visioning and took a sip of the simmering hot mixture. Then I singed my palate just a tad bit, and in an instant, I figured out what it was. So distant, but in fact essential, and makes every bit of difference with its subtle addition. The vivid sweetness meets the tip of the lips and slips past once the missing piece is in attendance. A sweetness that lingers on your tongue and runs all through your memories far more than just a couple minutes. With such an earthy aroma, the scent is mystically soothing, slow and exquisite movements you tend to captivate rooms with. Touch like glue, it's so adhesive, and now here I am, stuck again, wishing. It was you, honey, missing from this wonderful mixture all along. Left me feeling malnourished, in need of your newly refurbished purpose and your nutrient-rich person. Jam-packed with everything my body needs to work, and not to mention the 20 other vitamins and minerals that float to surface when you urge them. My word. You know what? Check, please. Only 1 cup of tea today? Everything okay? It's usually 3. Yeah, that's just somewhere I really should be, you see? So I'm gonna go ahead and jet. Time for me to leave. Oh, by the way, can I get a cup for the road and a couple sides of honey? Perfect. That's just what I need. See it. Thank y'all so much, man. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. It's a little something.
Thank you, Taqi. Really appreciate you. Great work, great words, great creativity. A really great balance between both of your poems, light and dark. So thank you for bringing us that.
You're welcome.
Segue into great. As we segue into our next panelist or our next poet, is any Ms. Carol, do you have anything you'd like to say or add right now as you're manning the chat room?
No, let's go on with our, is it Jada that's going to come up next? Yeah, let's go ahead with Jada. This has been great so far. Thanks.
Okay, Miss Jada, my empathetic sister. So let's go.
Yes. Okay, so I want to tell everybody, thank you so much for having me here. My philosophy on life is the purpose of having any gift is to serve. And I truly feel as though in order for you to figure out what your gift is, you really need to go through this self-love journey. So I've had different pieces that I haven't finished yet, but I actually was up working on a piece, and it's really true to me right now. So I want to share that. And then afterwards, I want to go ahead and talk to y'all just a little bit behind that. Okay, so this is called the Hummingbird Blues. Bitter, bitter, bittersweet. Missing sweet canary breezes. Did you see it? Could you keep it? Home is where the heart is. Love with no conditions. His words are filling my soul. Meditation of 5 a.m. morning kisses. 'Tis so sweet when it's he and I alone. Being humbled is the only way to see, kneeling to his throne. Not knowing if I'm hot or if I'm cold. Sweet red hummingbird in my dreams saying, Jada, stop and smell the rose. Riding the currents and the waves, taking flight, urge to release it in order to receive, cradling through the pain only to align. Adhere to your anointing and stop giving into more disappointments, accepting all rejections, embracing the sign as divine protection. Tucking my feelings away, saying I'm fine as if it's real. Artificially speaking the realities of life being poked and guided, knowing I must heal. Love is giving me the choice, free will creating a marriage, discerning the dialogue to hear only one voice. If you were a color, whispering peace be still of crystal water blue, I commit to connect to the change with this is my vow, saying I do. If it's the answers that we may speak or that we may seek, you must stop and smell the rose. It's then you'll hear the universe speak. For the pressure of this stone in the making, being willing to accept any gift was first given. So if not unwrapped, it can be taken. Pressure, 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 please help me align. For washing away the pain is then when I'll shine. Wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. Ancestral guides in this life are sent from above. To silence the voice of doubt and to remember there's always hope to foster in a sunny day. To keep going is what it's about. Love for sure is my ultimate sense. Your taste, touch, smell is a sight to see at the beat I'll never miss. They say favor ain't fair when all ingredients aren't favorable alone. In the end, you'll see the purpose if you slow down and stop to smell the rose. So that's that. And I want to sing a little bit of that, just a little bit of the verse, and then I'll go in and share one more thing with you guys. 1 second. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. It was pulled up. I'm gonna make sure y'all can hear it. Bitter, bitter, bittersweet. Missing sweet canary breezes. Well, did you see it? Could you keep it? Bitter, bitter, bittersweet. Missing all the sweet canary breezes. Well, did you see it? Could you keep it? Home is where the heart is, in love with no conditions. His words are fueling my soul. Meditation, 5 a.m. morning kisses. 'Tis so sweet when it's just me and him alone. Being humbled is the only way to live to the throne. Bitter, bitter, bittersweet. Missing all the sweet canary breezes. Well, did you see it? Could you keep it? Smell the rose. So I just wanted to sing the first verse of that. But I wanted to give a reflection as to why that really was something really near and dear to my heart. As a quarantine college graduate, there was a time where I started a program at my school to give back gifts, to show people that the only reason why I have this gift, or that we all have this gift that we do have, is because people pour into us. So I wanted to give out gifts to show that. And so I came up with a little presentation. It's very simple. Everybody should know the ABCs, but I'm just gonna read to you what each ABC meant to me and why I chose that today. So for the A, is to always have ambition and adhere to your anointing and always have a plan. The B is to be like Jesus, but not like God, to bow down to greatness. The C is to connect to courage when compromised, because there's complexity in complexion. The D is to dissect dialogue. The E is everything for me is working for my good. The F is there's forgiveness to foster in a sunny day. The G is to guard your heart and gracefully let go. The H is to harness hope. The I is to have individual interventions. The J is to just smile, because sometimes that's just enough. The K is to kneel to knowing, being able to say, it's okay, I don't know everything. The L is to learn your love language and let living waters flow through you. Oh, wait. Chill. Sorry. The ABCDEFGHIJKL. Okay, sorry. The M, making meaningful music. The N, namaste. The O is to open openness. The P is the 5 Ps. There's purpose in your pain for the pending product. The Q is to quit quitting. The R is to remember your roots. The S is to sovereign your salvation. The T is to treasure your time. The U in uniqueness is you. The V is to value your values and vacate vultures. The W, is to willfully let go and wild out on your praise. And the X is to x-ray your atmosphere. The Y is to yearn that you are enough. And the Z is to get your rest and be zealous in everything that you do. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew it's important to dissect dialogue and to have those conversations, to get to your healing, to get to figuring out what your gift is, because if it's not utilized, it could be taken from you. But we have to always make sure that we know we are understanding that what is ours is already, ours. We just have to step out and claim that. So I just wanted to be honest and let you know how I was feeling and just speak from the heart. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jada. We really appreciated that. Great job. And I kind of like to piggyback off of what you said, and I definitely believe in healing. Healing is an art. It takes time, it takes practice, and it takes love. And you never can pour from an empty cup. So people pour into you all the time, but when you're constantly pouring out into others and no one's pouring back into you, you can't pour it from an empty glass or an empty pitcher or empty cup, whatever you call it. So you have to take on all those experiences and those feelings or emotions and all those things from everyone. And that's how you are creative. You're creative by all of your truth and all of the things that people have poured into you. So I definitely agree with you on that one for sure. So we're gonna move in with our final creative for this evening. So we'll have a little extra time for questions and answers and just suggestions, commentary. We'll appreciate any feedback that we can get. So without further ado, we're going to go over to Alejandro Perez Jr. I'd like to say, you guys, this is really funny. It's not funny, but we were in kindergarten together, Miss Anderson's class. So we have known each other a long time. We both have children who have graduated college, but we were in kindergarten together. So again, I'm so appreciative of you. Thank you. You have been a a great help. So without further ado, let's go. What we got?
A bunch of nervous energy, listening to all this good stuff going on, you know what I mean? I feel like the future is very bright just hearing the youth, and also us as standing like bookends of pillars supporting them. It's like, isn't it cool to see reflections of yourself going places? This is really awesome. Y'all make me smile on the inside and on the outside. I'm gonna share a piece that's I don't know, I guess it's in between melancholy and hope. And it's going to be experimental. As a matter of fact, I've never performed this piece the way that I'm about to perform this piece because I didn't know how I was going to share it with y'all. Accompanying me will be my 505 looper. It's one of my favorite little toys to play with. So if there's some technical difficulties that happen to transpire in the process of me trying to deliver this piece, y'all bear with me. Without further ado, I bring to you 2020. Social unrest, pandemic COVID-19, social distancing, police brutality. Mental illness is at an all-time high. Children missing their teachers, friends, and lunch outside. I think about this digital life versus analog. Connection Zoom schools got me feeling real different. Lost thousands on travel and work. Read 3 months of family connection and the perks. Then I think, Amadou Diallo was when I memorized my ID on my driver's license so I would never have to be caught reaching for something that isn't there. It isn't really fair, but we've got to learn to look to the other side because we've not the only seeds that have been traumatized. It's hard to realize. 401 years desensitized for respect of other life. Man, it isn't right, but it's the truth, whether we like it or not. Empathy, compassion, bursting out in the streets for the basic right to matter for folks that look like me. Imagine looking up at strange fruit hanging from trees and the memory of nursing from the same woman's teat. Excuse me, I mean breast. But we've been taught that we were less. But I digress. Back to the lesson of colorism. House nigga, field nigga, and the brother that passed. The indoctrination of the peasant in class. How long will it last? June 19, 1865 was the first time that Black folks from the South realized that we were free. Since January 1st, 1963, 2.5 years later, when Abe Lincoln gave his famous speech that claimed that all enslaved Africans were finally free. I'm not blind, man. I can see. I'm not blind, man. I can see. Stop lying to me, please. Stop killing us lying in streets. It's 2020 and everyone in the world could finally see. George Floyd was the spark that sent the peeps to the streets. Breonna Taylor woke her up and gave her permanent sleep. Damn. We need justice. And we're gonna get it, y'all. But it's gonna take some time. School to pipeline prison. That is the vision of those who run the jails that have to fill the cells to make more mail from free servitude simply because free labor is the tool that built this nation with no apologies, no reparations, destroyed communities. The war on drugs turned us into thugs. But when our counterparts got caught, they need more love. They need more hugs. But what about us? Michael said they don't really care about us. Black Lives Matter is the lowest asked. Y'all supposed to give us land in a gang of cats, but the trip is we ain't even asked for that. At least not yet. But we gonna get that dough. My grandmama said, baby, you reap what you sow. An eye for an eye, a knee for a knee. Something must change, something must DIE. Please, don't misconstrue my speech. I'm talking about racism. I'm clear when I speak. I'm leaving no room for misinterpretation because 2020 has been a hell of a revelation. I'm having conversations with my children and my wife about the state of our affairs and community life. I teach my children to have a diverse friend portfolio. But in these days and times, COVID got us moving slow. So mental wellness becomes a topic that touches souls. It doesn't matter whether you're young or gracefully old. Our voice has power to communicate. My mama said, baby, it's all about love and to eradicate hate. In a circle of prayer, people of all walks were there. The prophecy was for change. I want to see us all there with the clear vision of change, love, justice, and equality. It's 2020, y'all. It's time to finally see. Thank you. 2020. It's the first time I ever performed that piece. And I don't know what y'all thought about it. My stomach had butterflies the whole time. I was nervous as all get out. But
I thought you did an excellent job, my friend. You did an excellent job, as always.
I got gooses.
You say you got goosies. All right. That's all.
Very, very deep.
Yes.
Right. Now, this next piece is a whole lot lighter. I believe in the power of creating restorative practice for yourself. Mm-hmm. And I created this piece called 5 Pillars because I think it is a reminder to the collective self and the individual to love on yourself so that you give from your overflow and not from your essence, because we don't want to deplete ourselves in the process of trying to create the spirit of reciprocity and community with others. We have to give from our overflow. So this piece is called 5 Pillars. I'm going to be using my 505 looper again, but it's going to be a little bit more upbeat and a lot more going on. So bear with me. And here we go. This piece is called 5 Pillars. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. 5 pillars. It's very important we take care of ourselves. So we share this with Now, everyone in this room has a need. Nourishing energy every day makes us complete. but it starts with getting enough sleep and watching what you think and watching how you feel me? And everyone in this room needs love. Letting our voices engage in real conversation builds us up and invites us to a place of self-determination, defining self for self. Now that's true revelation. And everyone in this room needs peace, positive energy, activating community efforts. And this becomes effortless when we're at our best, but we have to feel safe before this happens. And everyone in this room needs tribe to reconnect, and beauty every day makes us feel alive. And when you're with your tribe, you don't have to put on face, and you can say what you feel and it's gonna be okay. And everyone in this room needs art, activating real truth. Now that is the spark, an invitation to a ritualized transformation. But remember, all this begins with the conversation. So feel the need, feel the love, feel the peace, and find your tribe and discover art. But make sure you do all of this with heart. Need love, peace, tribe, need love, peace, tribe, implementation of information, facilitation, got me thoroughly analyzing my education while dealing with continuation and proper immunization. I'm able to come to this conscious realization through everyday life situations. My emancipation be the fall of the righteous vibrations. Normal revelations become miracles after purification. Beat this observation. I watch the mutation of mind manipulation through the process of integration without revitalization of detrimental information. The alteration goes concentrated meditation, then shortly after fall into stagnation and memorization. That is grounded in mind is the foundation to begin to build a nation purified for creation. From the light of righteous proclamations, documentations, the litigations become contrary information. When it comes to our focus, teaching libation happened before the ceremony begins. I bear witness the libated ink from the pen. Come again, say it one more time, my friend. We need love, love, peace, tribe. We need love, peace, tribe. Evolving acts from cigarette packs to selling crack. Flip the script, now unconscious acts of proven fact that when the person commits unconscious genocide, that mean that individual is caused some type of mental parasites. Mental parasites on plantations of subliminal information, planets and television stations, the real world used for marketing information. How does one revitalize the righteous making while hurting hearts of patient, patiently waiting for the next move they should be making? First of all, we must stop the faking and playing like we got an okay situation. Cause unconscious acts of care when there's no accountable emanation of deviation. In other words, point the finger at self, revitalize health, realize self-improvement is the pants with the belt. How else we gon' hold up if we can't hold our own? Remember, consciousness is the acknowledgement of the Most High in our dome, and we gon' keep it keeping on, and we gon' make it might not wrong. We got to keep the spirit strong and keep it going on, and drop the 5 pillars inside the dome. Come on, we need love, peace, strive. We need love, peace, strive. So, remember y'all, you got to take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else. When you get on the airplane, they tell you put your mask on first. So you have to take care of yourself so you can be a help to others. Remember, feel the need, feel the love, feel the peace, find your tribe, and discover art. Make sure you do all of this with heart.
Absolutely. You can't say that enough. Self-love, self-care. You have to start with self first before you can give to others. Thank you for those very creative pieces, Mr. Alejandro Perez Jr. Again, I want to give a warm thank you for everyone who has chimed in today. I truly appreciate you taking this journey and experience with me. I can't thank Miss Carol Latham enough for allowing me this platform. I truly appreciate you. And I'll be very honest, I was not expecting you to like hand it over to me. This is not what I thought when we initially spoke. Thank you, Melanie, for connecting us. Again, Orange County Heritage Council for connecting me with Miss Carol on this opportunity. So I'm just so grateful and appreciative, and for everyone who's chimed in, Cynthia, Ron, Miss Kathy, William, my sister-in-law, Devonna. I just thank you all. Dolores, we will see you on the part 2 series. Glad that you are here. Grant, I actually sent you a message, so I don't know if you got it or not, but thank you all for chiming in and being a part of this. Charlene, my bestie, my Sora, Kalia, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see you, my husband. I see you guys all here supporting me, supporting the creatives. And it's so important to understand that in us lies a creative. All of us have that creative side to us. You just have to want to tap into that. Your words, your thoughts, everything that you manifest, your experiences, your ups, your downs, your highs, your lows, all of those things make you who you are, and they create in you that creative side. If you live in your truth, and your truth is what brings about your creativity. And so I'm just, again, grateful that you all are here supporting, watching, loving, learning, and being a part of this. Thank you, Jada. Thank you, Taqi. I know on the panel today, you've got two old heads, and then you got 2 babies. You guys are both young enough to be me and Alex's kids. So we definitely appreciate you. And art and creativity has no boundaries. You can be 2 years old, you can be 100 years old. We all have it living within us. And it's just making sure that you tap into that and know, and just know that you have that part of you. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Carol. And again, thank you, Berkinda, for manning the marketing and the flyers and the website and everything that you did. I appreciate you as well. Again, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Carol Latham to take it from here. We have about 10 minutes left for a few Q&As, and we'll go from there.
Well, thank you. This was such a powerful afternoon of spoken word. And I was looking at the comments, was everything from beautiful, powerful, truth, creative, awesome. And I think it was that and more. So thank you all so very, very much. In listening to the pieces, I came away with the idea that there really isn't anything any topic that any of you would write on that wouldn't be a powerful piece. But I was wondering, are there any types of poetry or that comes to you that that has frightened you or humbled you? And what have you done about that? Who wants to go first? How about you, Alejandro?
Well, I'll be really frank. I don't like writing about religion because I've traveled and I've met all kinds of believers, and they're not all Christian. And it opened my eyes to a world that I was not very privy of growing up, living in the South in the Bible Belt. And as I began to broaden my scope and broaden my library in my early 20s and begin to like study other world religions, then I began to find a commonality and a groove that invited me to understand that there should be no judgment in my personal walk. Just because I walk up Keith's to get to my destination doesn't mean that a person walking around Corinth to go to the same place I'm going is going in the wrong way. There are multiple paths to try to get back to the same place. And we come from a mighty creator that is not limited to what we think we know about the all. So I have learned to be very, very mindful, no longer trepidatious, but mindful about how I speak about the creator and sustainer of the universe as it relies or sits with religion. But that's been my experience. So
How about you, Jada?
There is really nothing.
You hang on. You muted yourself. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So there's really not anything that I don't mind talking about. It's just getting over the barrier of being vulnerable and knowing that what I give is enough, because I'm very hard on myself. So
yes, you are.
so, being comfortable with being vulnerable and knowing that whatever you give out, you have to be proud of that, and knowing that that's the power in vulnerability. You don't control what the other person says or how they think. You can only control if it's true to you. So doing that dialogue with myself, with the man in the mirror, saying you are enough, this is your truth, and sticking to it, and having that necessary discernment, because I don't always make the right decisions. So being able to really train my mind of how I think and how I express myself is getting over that hurdle of, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to give that. So I don't have really any struggles. It's just getting over that initial, Jada, this is you. Give it how you feel it and be okay with that. So.
How about you, Taqi? Taqi, I'm sorry.
There we go. Yeah, I unmute. But let's see. I don't think there's anything that I would per se that I shy away from when I'm trying to write or big topics to write about. But I will say that the nature of my writing is very deeply rooted in experience. And I say that meaning all things, not just us humans. I look at animals, things like that, and everything. And I think about things on a very collective plane. And when I incorporate them into my writings, it's basically a really big fruit cake, really big mosh pit of things. So it's very hard for me at least, it's very hard to shy away when, just like AP said, there's so many different avenues that may take you somewhere. You can always go around it and find a different viewpoint, a different path. So if something does start to shy away from me, say I may be thinking about capitalism, maybe talking about politics, things like that. Say I might, a little nervous or get a little dumbfounded about something, I'll just turn it around, switch the imagery, I'll switch the dialect, switch the line. And like you said, a way that you can maneuver that into your pieces, and especially dealing with feeling. There's so many different avenues where you can, put things in your pieces, so you don't have to so much be, so nervous dealing with some controversial topics. Like AP said, religion is definitely one, stuff like that. So yeah, that's how I do it. I just look at it as an objective thing and take my experiences like that and compile them.
Okay. We had two questions come up. One is for Alejandro. When did you start incorporating the, what is that?
The 505.
The SO5 in your poetry.
Well, today was like the trial run to incorporate it as like in the poetry. I never use it for poetry ever in my life. This is like the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it could be used, but I'm also an MC and a vocalist, so I use it for like vocalization, and it's something that you can use to play with your voice and build tracks without having to play an instrument. And if you want to create a soundscape really fast, you can use this looper to do so. If you understand time and melody, then you can create a rhythm for everybody to follow. But as far as it being a part of spoken word, I never really used it unless you include hip hop presentations. This was the first time doing it, just like a poem and creating it. So that's why I was really nervous, more so
Yeah.
because.
Well, it was. And Grant has a question. He wanted to know where we can hear more of this, your appearances, where books can be purchased, social media, websites, all of that. Now, I know your websites will be on the MUZEO website, but I would think that the books would be able to be purchased on that from that website as well, correct? Is that?
For me, you can go to Bandcamp and purchase like I believe I have 2 CDs there. One is Melody Memory, and the other one is Sing, Dance, Learn with Melody Memory. There, one's a children's CD and the other one's an adult CD. My live Melody Memory CD. I have works in the making, but they're not available for sale right now. I still have to complete at least 3 more pieces before it is complete. And once I'm complete, you'll be able to purchase it on all available streaming sources, but it's going to be 2 months before I release all of this. So yeah.
Okay. And I think all of the contact information will be, as I said, on the MUZEO website, so that everyone can, hook into that and know exactly where to get in touch with you and what books and CDs are available. We're just about a little bit out of close to time, but Cedric mentioned about making this a monthly platform, and instead of just doing it in an hour, spending 2 to 4 hours with live music and poetry on a Sunday afternoon sounds very relaxing. I'm game.
Yes.
So we'll see what we can do about that. And I know, Natalie, we are already doing a second one is it October?
It's September 13th.
September 13th.
Two series.
Yes.
To this.
And so there'll be different poets for that one. But who knows?
Yes.
This could be an ongoing monthly thing. You never know, because I think this forum is just so necessary, and it's beautiful, and it's powerful and enthralling and gripping, and brings out so many aspects of our social life. And especially since everything is on social media now, that this is such a great way to be able to do this. So before I close, I just want to again remind you that the information will be on our website for all of our authors, and it will be posted on our www.museo.org website. And there'll be a follow-up evaluation email sent out. If you know, share your thoughts with us. We want to continue to bring relative, engaging programs to the community, especially since we are housebound for the most part. And if you'd like to support the MUZEO, click on the support donate button, and you can do that either on our website or Facebook or our Instagram account. And your generosity, however that appears, is greatly appreciated. Special thank you to Berkenda in the background for keeping us technically sound. And we thank Natalie Elaine, Jada, Taqi, Alejandro for helping us navigate through the nuances of expressions in these uncertain times, with the whole theme of love and heart and passion and tribe and engagement. So thank you. And a special thank you to our viewing audience for tuning in with us this afternoon. On behalf of the MUZEO, I'd like to wish you that you stay safe, stay well, and stay healthy. Until next time. Thank you so much.
Until next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine.
Been great, y'all. I can't wait to do it again.
Right.